National Football League. And coming up, we'll see Derek Carr. He's coming off a nice week throwing the ball, 4 touchdown throws. It's the Raiders and the Broncos, and it's all up next on EA Sports.
Well, there's never a shortage of shows or sights and sounds throughout this city, but for the next few hours, all eyes are glued to Allegiant Stadium here in Las Vegas. Today, it's week 4, and we've got what should be a great one here between the Denver Broncos and the Las Vegas Raiders. Hi again, everyone. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. And Charles, we look at the Raiders here entering play. We're in October now, so everybody should be coming into form, shouldn't they?
They really should, and what you have now is a full routine established about what you want to get done and full focus on the season.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Broncos, even with all the games we have broadcast together over the years, partner, seems like every time we see something new and kind of get that feeling we might get something unique here in this one as well.
No two games are ever really the same, are they, Brandon? Because there's always a couple little details, standout performances, big plays that help set each game apart. That makes every one of them entertaining to be a part of.
Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. Taken at the goal line. And he returns this to the 22. Time for our first look at the Denver offense, and of course the new face of the Broncos, 9-time Pro Bowler while in Seattle, Russell Wilson.
There's a lot of good to watch in the game last week, wasn't there? I mean, he did throw 2 touchdown passes. That was impressive. And he's so close, isn't he? The 3 interceptions killed him and his team. That was costly. But if he just cleans that up a little bit, there's a reason for optimism with this team and this passer.
Quickly to the air is Wilson. Man open, he's got it complete to Courtland Sutton. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 14 yards there on the first play from scrimmage.
Courtland Sutton has shown plenty of times that he's a big-time player, capable of making the plays that you need to be a wide receiver 1 in this league. Now his goal is to return to his 2019 Pro Bowl form. 776 yards in 2021. He picks up a first down there.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Here's Wilson to throw. This one swung out to Williams. So the completion gets him just a yard, and it's 2nd down. Well, still very early in the season, obviously, CD, but already key injuries that they've had to deal with.
And what's really difficult for a team is to try and maintain their focus when they feel like they've been a little bit snake-bitten. It feels like every time they turn around, another injury crops up. How do they manage to hang together, get guys to play a little bit above their heads, and make sure that they're still afloat when their starters make it back?
So back-to-back plays, each get nothing. And that brings up 3rd and a full 10 yards. Well, this defense, Charles, really played well in that win a week ago.
But we certainly had a nice conversation with the defensive coordinator, didn't we? And what we heard, I like what we did, but we definitely need more pressure on the quarterback this week.
On 3rd down, Wilson. It's his running back, Melvin Gordon. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. That one good for 13 and a Denver first down. They clearly wanted to come out, Charles, and be aggressive throwing the football, and they've been pretty efficient along with that aggressiveness. He's now 4 of 4 on this opening drive.
Yeah, and that's led to a fresh set of downs. I like what he's doing back there. You can tell he's at ease. Feels good about what he's doing. And I think if I'm the play caller, I'm reading that. I'm continuing to let him throw the football.
2 first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Throwing again here, Wilson. That's complete to the tight end, Saubert. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line. And just a yard to go here on 2nd down. Now Wilson. Albert Okuwebunam, the intended target. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 32-yard line. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward. Throwing now, Wilson on first down. And he's going to drop this off to Williams, complete. And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line. And so far, a very nice, methodical opening drive.
This has the feel of a scripted drive that they rehearsed perfectly all week long, and now they're executing it on game day.
Script looks good so far. Might have gotten this one down to the 28, and that's all. A 1-yard gain there following the 3-yard pickup on first down. The 22 is the line to gain here on third down. Well, this defense for the Raiders, they were terrific in the win over Tennessee a week ago.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defensive coordinator about their performance last week, because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct. But that was certainly an aggressive call and an aggressive play. Instead of just going for the first down, took the shot in the end zone, went for the touchdown.
And on third down, they said, forget about the sticks. We want 6. The kick by McManus is good. And the Broncos, the first to grace the scoreboard. It's 3-zip. No touchdown there, but if that first drive is any indication, looks like they're going to have a pretty good day passing the football.
I would say confidence would have to be pretty high after that first drive, able to throw it almost at will. You're exactly right. They didn't get the touchdown, but 3 points serves as a nice notice about how this offense is going to move.
Out of the end zone comes Johnson, and tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. And as the Raiders take over on offense, we get to see the man who has been the leader of this team for 9 seasons now, under center Derek Carr.
You enjoyed watching that game tape, didn't you?
Yeah,
Last week's game.
It was good. 4 touchdowns, 1 pick.
Now, you were a little upset about the pick. I didn't know if you would play him this week or not if you were the head coach.
Hey, they got the win.
They got the win, so you're going to give him another chance?
Give him another shot.
All right, I think the ratio is pretty good. He'll try to eliminate the interception, but he wants to keep that hot streak going, throwing touchdown passes.
Carr now on first down. He'll buy some time right. And he whips that one incomplete there.
Well, he certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. They just do get the play off as he'll look to throw. He gets this to Devontae Adams. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. Nothing after 1 on EA Sports. Second quarter from Vegas. The homestanding Raiders with a football here, as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Now Carr. Firing quickly, but it's incomplete. The Raiders had 2-1 now to start the campaign. And they took the tough loss in the opener, CD, but since then, they've rebounded to win 2 straight.
And that's exactly what you want to see from your team early on, how they can bounce back from adversity. The Week 1 loss, that absolutely stung. But how about how hard they've worked in a couple of weeks since? And now they're moving back in the right direction.
Throwing his car on third down. It's caught, left side, Bolden. And some room to roll now. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 38-yard line. Great way to convert on third down there, 21 yards to play.
A lot of times the key is just get him the ball and let him do his thing, and they got it out to him on the left side, and he did exactly that. Excellent run after the catch.
So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 38. Now Carr. And he'll find Moreau here. So that'll be no better than an incompletion, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. To throw again on 2nd down. Carr. And the reception made over the middle. This is Bolden. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line. 2nd quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score. The 8th play of the drive coming up. It's 3rd and 3. Throwing now is Carr. And able to complete it to Moreau. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 12-yard line. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue. Now Carr again. Sliding out of the pocket. And that is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. Devontae Adams. His first touchdown on the year. And the Raiders have taken the lead.
He was able to move around and found some vision to throw the football. And how about how he ended it? Boy, he had some zip on that throw.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt to have an arm like that. Results in the touchdown here. Great play offensively. Now for the extra point, Daniel Carlson. And this is up and good to make it 7-3. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. Phillips, he's not going to bring this one out, so they will begin the drive at the 25. So now the second drive offensively coming up for the Denver Broncos. And looking at this situation, Charles, you got more than a minute. You've got all 3 timeouts. Probably no need to play this safe.
So what you're saying is that we're doing a little bit of a mind meld here, aren't we? Because I'm thinking along the same lines as you. This amount of time, don't be compelled to play it too safe. This is a chance to get points on the board. Press it a little bit.
Yeah, especially since a touchdown here gets you the lead. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. And it's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
From midfield now, here's Wilson. He'll get that complete to Albert O. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Wilson. This will complete to Jerry Jeudy. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 32-yard line. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now it's Wilson. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Wilson will throw again. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2.
It's 3rd and long now for Wilson and the Broncos after that sack.
Operating from the gun, Wilson. And this is going to be incomplete.
Like what I see so far out of this defense, because they've been showing their best coverages on 3rd down. So far, only allowed 1 conversion on a handful of attempts. One area of their game plan that they've executed to perfection.
And I tell you what, he got it from 58. That had lots of leg behind it. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
Take it in at the 3. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
Out comes Devontae Adams in the offense for their next drive. There's a lot of talk in training camp about him getting off to a hot start this year, saying that they needed that. Well, he's done it through the first month.
It kind of reminds me of one of those great musical groups where one person has their name out front, then they have the backups, right? He's the guy out front because the backups, they're doing what they're supposed to be doing, but we're going to the headliner each and every time. And that's not easily done because you know all the defenses are kicking towards him right now. That means he's fighting his way through traffic, finding ways to get open, even when he's not supposed to be.
Carr now on 1st down. And that will be incomplete with a clock showing 18 seconds now to go.
Hunter Renfrow is the man he was looking for.
And now it's 2nd down. Great coverage there all around. Really didn't have many options to throw the football.
Very little chance that that one was going to be completed. Every receiver was locked up.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Not wanting to take a chance this time, they'll keep it on the ground. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. So on 4th down, here's A.J. Cole to punt for the Raiders. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Taken right on the 30. That'll go as a 39-yard punt, give him 9 on the return, and there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive.
He'll go up top here for Hamler.
And it's knocked away and incomplete.
So we have reached halftime here in Vegas with the Raiders on top.
As we send you to our EA studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you guys in a bit. But first, let's take a look around the NFL here on this first Sunday of October. We'll get started out in Texas, NRG Stadium in Houston, where it was the visiting Chargers who were able to come in and steal one on the road. Justin Herbert, excellent in the victory as his guys moved to 3-1 after 4 games. From there, we head up to Wisconsin to check out the Packers at home in Lambeau. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting New England Patriots. Randall Cobb, a touchdown reception. Lastly, let's get you to Charlotte, North Carolina. Check on the Panthers at home at Bank of America Stadium. And they've got the lead over the visiting Arizona Cardinals. Baker Mayfield with a couple of touchdown passes. Moving on, let's take a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for the Broncos. And they weren't able to get a whole lot done throwing the football. That'll likely be a big key if they want to turn things around in the second half. Meanwhile, for the Raiders, they did not have quite the same amount of success in the passing game that their counterparts did, as you get a look at the numbers there. Both teams making their final adjustments before we get started once again. And for the call of the second half, let's send you back out to Allegiant Stadium and Brandon Gott.
Okay, Coach, yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far.
The Raiders with the lead already, and they will get the football here as the second half is now underway.
This fielded right at the goal line. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
So here are the Raiders now to take over. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10. Carr. Flush to his right.
That one into the hands of Adams downfield.
And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A very solid gain of 27. So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 47. To throw his Carr. Rolling to his left. A dump off here to Bolden.
And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
And the offense moving quickly to the line. From the 44, Carr. That's complete to Bolden. And he'll get nothing out of that one. So back-to-back plays, each get nothing. And 3rd and 8 now. Shotgun now for Carr. And that is incomplete.
Sometimes the game is pretty simple. Put a few extra defensive backs on the field, give them nowhere to throw the football, force the incompletion, and get off the field on 3rd down.
Here's A.J. Cole now as he'll kick it away for the second time. So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the second half. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. Play action. Now Wilson.
That's going to be caught by Judy.
And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a 1st down. Here's a give up the middle. It's Gordon. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down. Now Wilson. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the 1st down.
They'll try and run it. Here's Gordon. And he's going to have a 1st down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
A pair of 1st downs gives them a 1st and 10 up at the 44. Now they'll throw it with Wilson. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's second down.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here in this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on first down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
To throw again on second down. Wilson, his throw incomplete.
Everything looked right on that play except the conclusion. He dropped it, an in route, going into a little bit of traffic. Maybe in the back of his mind, he was wondering where the hit was going to come from.
Now play number 7 of the drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 10. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
We're into the second half now. This is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Here's Michael Pilardi now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line.
And he's got to be fired up about that effort. I don't think he could have walked down and placed it any better than where he ended up putting the football. That was excellent.
The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an...
Back now in Las Vegas. Welcome back, everybody. This one's still anybody's ball game. It's a 1-point difference here as we begin the 4th quarter of play. They stay on the ground with White. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 5-yard line. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. The offense on 3rd down, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Back near his goal line. Here's Carr. Yeah, that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Critical play in this football game because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
So from their own end zone here, this kicks away. And not a great punt here. Out of bounds in the air. They're going to say this one doesn't even get to the 40. Denver's offense now set to go. Their defense accomplished step 1 of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase. That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked off by Jayon Brown. And the Raiders are going to have the football here at their own 35-yard line. A lot of bodies there in the middle of the field, and that one intercepted.
Yeah, he's looking for his tight end running a drag route across the field, and normally you'd like him to work a little bit further outside. Here the throw's a little early, and it winds up in the hands of the defender.
The Raiders heading out to take over. Another important 4th quarter series coming up. That last INT helping to maintain their slim advantage. A good starting spot for the Raiders as they come up 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. The drive starts with a run by White. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1. Here we go, 3rd and 1. Gut check time on both sides. To throw, it's Carr. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Randy Gregory. Able to run him down for a 15-yard loss, and it will be 4th down.
The Denver Broncos were happy to sign Randy Gregory to a 5-year deal this offseason. And they're certainly hoping that over the course of 17 games, they can get double-digit sacks out of this young man.
Here's A.J. Cole now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. 4th quarter, 2 minutes on the clock in a tight 1-point game. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. They're looking at a 4th down now as they try to hold on to this lead for dear life. That's pulled in at the 32. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Broncos take over. 1st down and 10.
So here is Wilson and the Broncos.
Down 7-6. A minute 52 to play. And they're in danger of a 3rd straight loss as they come up on 1st and 10. Wilson to throw. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. He was unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good. And
because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
With that incompletion, reality is staring them right in the face. This entire game is down to the next snap.
Here we go. It's Wilson on 4th down. Finding Sutton. There's some space here. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a 1st down. That's what they need right now. Get the 1st down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
Wilson's throw taken in by Sutton.
And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4. The Broncos in their hurry-up trying to get to their positions and get set quickly. And that is, I think he caught it. He did, but they'll say out of bounds. It'll be incomplete. Couple extra defensive backs out there in the dime, and because of that, really not many places to throw the football. They've hit it.
And typically, what would you want to do against that dime?
Run the football.
You want to run the ball, but you can't do it in this situation. Not nearly enough time on the clock. You have to really navigate against a tough defense presented against you.
And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. The kick by McManus is good. And the sideline celebrates as they have taken the lead in the final minute. All right, so time to reset here. It's a huge kick there, gives them the lead, but they've got to be careful that their celebrations aren't a little too premature.
You're exactly right about that, because there still is time for the other guys to run a few plays and get into field goal position. So this defense is going to need to come up with one final stop if they're going to get out of here with a victory.
And he'll be brought down at the 28-yard line, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone gets him 3 more.
Now it's the Raiders' turn, trailing by 2 after the made field goal. 53 ticks to go. Now their lead is evaporated, but they still have a shot on 1st down.
Throwing his car.
Buying time to his left. Over the middle, that's caught by Adams. And they work this well upfield across the 45.
Carr.
And he gets it to Bolden. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Here's Carr. Catch is made by Hunter Renfrow.
Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in the game. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
First down, here's White. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. He was trying to clear the way, the big fullback. Instead, he gets a hold.
And you don't see that very often on running plays from those guys because usually they're the lead blocker. Normally, when he gets caught, it's in a passing situation.
Now a give up the middle. This is White. And whistles, and they take their final timeout with 7 seconds left.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
And here come the whistles and a timeout with 7 seconds left. What pressure as this thing all rests on the foot of Daniel Carlson. This from 51 yards for the win. And this is good. It was running out of gas there at the end, but he winds up getting just enough on it. And it's celebration time on that sideline as they have taken the lead in the final seconds. After the made field goal, Carlson now sets up to kick this away.
Here comes Darius Phillips out of the end zone.
Well, this one probably was fun down to the very end. They got the points late, right before the whistle. Then the ensuing kickoff. They're hoping for magic on the other side, but couldn't get that spot.
Fun if you won, and fun for us because we got to watch it and call it. That magic that you were talking about didn't occur at the end, but what a game all the way through.
So for Las Vegas, they're on a nice early roll as they move to 3-1 with a win here. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Kansas City Chiefs. Meanwhile, for the Broncos, they'll drop down to 1-3. And they'll have a chance at redemption next week at home against the Indianapolis Colts.